Hello children, how are you all? I hope you are fine and safe. This is Dakshayani handling biology from Bharadasnar Metric Higher Secondary School, Arakonam. Children, today we are going to see 11th standard, the first lesson. What is the name of the chapter, children? Living World. Right, in this chapter we have discussed about the viruses and now we are going to discuss about the bacteria. In this session we are going to see about the archaebacteria and cyanobacteria. So let us go into the topic. So archaebacteria, what do you mean by archaea, children? They are primitive. What do you mean primitive? They are very old, right? They are very primitive prokaryotes. What do you mean by prokaryote? They bear the very primitive nucleus. They bear primitive nucleus. And they can thrive well in extreme conditions, right, like hot springs, volcanic eruptions, extreme salty environment. So they can thrive in extreme conditions. So we can say them as extremophiles also. Next, they are mostly chemoautotrophs, right? They can synthesize their food with the help of the chemicals, right? For example, some organisms can inhale hydrogen sulfide, some can utilize methane. So since they use the chemicals, we call them as chemoautotrophs, and their cell membrane possesses of glycerol and isopropyl ethers. The cell wall of archaebacteria possess glycerol and isopropyl ethers. From this the need questions may be asked, children. The cell membrane of the archaebacteria is made of dash, right? So now let us see about the various types of archaebacteria. The organisms which thrive in extreme salty areas, we call them as halophiles. Some plants thrive in salty water, that plants we call it as halophytes. So here the organisms which survive we call it as halophiles. Example, Archaeobacter halophilus. Next, some bacteria produce methane. Example, Methanobacterium, right? They live in very marshy regions. And next, thermoacidophiles, that is in the area of volcanic eruptions and in the area of hot springs, they can survive in such a conditions. So the organisms which thrive in extreme conditions we say as extremophiles. So now we can see about the, in your box, do you know box it's given, children, what is stromatolites, right? What is stromatolites? From this we can say the age of the archaebacteria, right? From this, here the stromatolites are formed by the cyanobacteria binds with calcium carbonate. When the cyanobacteria binds with calcium carbonate, they found the deposits, they are said to be the stromatolites. And the age of the stromatolites is estimated to about 2.7 billion years, right? And here, what is the use of the stromatolites? They help in, and the main important function of the cyanobacteria is that they help in increasing the oxygen level. So it's an important question, children. In the do you know box it's given what are stromatolites. When cyanobacteria binds with calcium carbonate, they form a deposit called as stromatolites. So now let us discuss some of the bacterium. Pseudomonas podata, right? So it is a bacterium which can be genetically engineered, and this has a capacity to break down hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons, especially children, they used to break the oil spills. They have the capacity of digesting the oil spills. So Pseudomonas podata. And next one is Methylophilus methylotrophus. They are responsible for producing a protein called protein. So it contains high rate of biomass, right? So what are the two things? One is Pseudomonas podata and another one is Methylophilus methylotrophus. Next, Agrobacterium tumefaciens, right? They are used in the agricultural field. This Agrobacterium tumefaciens, they have the capacity of transferring a gene into the DNA. Desired gene can be transformed into the plant with the help of this Agrobacterium tumefaciens. And next one is a Thermus aquaticus. What is this Thermus aquaticus, children? So this Thermus aquaticus produces the polymerase enzyme, right? Polymerase enzyme which is used in the PCR. What is PCR? Polymerase chain reaction. Now at this time of corona test, they are doing this PCR only. They have the capacity to the process of amplifying the DNA. In our samples only small amount of DNA is present, children. So to multiply the DNA they use this PCR. So this PCR, what is used? The enzyme obtained from Thermus aquaticus, and the enzyme we call it as Taq DNA polymerase. Taq DNA polymerase, right? So next we are going to discuss about the salient features of cyanobacteria. The cyanobacteria are generally called as cyanophytes. Based on their shape, we can classify them as coccus, filamentous, and then spirillum. So let us see what are all the types and what are the characteristic features of different types of cyanophytes. So first one, the cyanobacteria is also called as blue-green algae. In generally we call them as Cyanophycaceae. Cyano refers to the color combination of green and blue color, right? And the mostly they are photosynthetic and prokaryotic organisms. They have the primitive nucleus, and we can see some of the examples of this cyanobacteria, children. So first one is most of them are, some of this are marine, that is they live in seas, right? So example is Trichodesmium erythracum. Erythracum, it's a red algae. This is the image of this red algae, children. The enormous proportion of this red algae gives a red color appearance to the sea. We say it's red tide, right, which happens in Florida. Next we are going to see about the next another bacterium. They live in they are endophytic. What do you mean by endophytic? Right, endophytic means they live inside the plant. So nostoc, right, the nostoc is this filamentous like this. Nostoc, they live inside the coralloid roots of cycas. This is the roots of the cycas, children. So here this green color refers to the nostoc, right? So the bacteria lives inside the plant. So we say them as endophytic. And some other species such as Glyocapsa, nostoc and Cytonema, they are found in the lichens. Lichens, symbiotic association between the fungi and algae, they are found in the thallus. So these are all the examples of some of the cyanobacteria. So next, the salient features of cyanobacteria. They lack motile reproductive structures. What do you mean by motile, children? For example, the human gamete sperms can move, but here the reproductive structures are not motile. They cannot move, and the thallus is unicellular. Based on this, they may be arranged unicellular. Single-celled organism, we say it as unicellular. The unicellular organism example Chlorococcus. So the bacterium which possesses the single cell is unicellular. Example Chlorococcus. Some live in colonies, in groups. We call it as colonial. Colonial example Glyocapsa. And next one, some occurs in the shape of filaments. Then we call them as filamentous bacterium. Example nostoc. So based on their presence, we can classify them as unicellular, colonial and filamentous. Next, you can see the gliding movement. What is the gliding, children? Like this movement, right? It moves. So the gliding movement we can observe in Oscillatoria, which is a type of cyanobacterium. So now let us study about the internal structure of this. Here, center, the fluid which is present in the center, we call it as centroplasm. What we say, children? Centroplasm. And the surrounding fluid, we call it as chromatoplasm. What we say? Chromatoplasm. Right, and they have the mucilaginous covering outside. See, this mucilaginous covering outside their membrane. So hence we classify them as Myxophycaceae, right? Myxophycaceae, since they have the mucilage covering and they have the storage food material, reserve food material in the form of cyanophycin, and they have the pigments such as picoerythrin, phycocyanin, and they have the thylakoid membrane surrounding the membrane. So this is the structure of the cyanobacterium, interior structure of cyanobacterium. Next, coming salient features, sexual reproduction is absent, right? Here only the vegetative reproduction takes place. Here first one is in the form of akinete, heterocyst and hormones, right? So let us discuss one by one. What is a akinete, children? For example, you take this is a nostoc, the vegetative cells, right? Here this is a akinete, the vegetative cells reproduce in the form of akinetes. So is formed from the vegetative cell. Next one, heterocyst, the intercalary cells in the filamentous cyanobacteria, the intercalary segment we call it as heterocyst. Okay, this is also a mode of reproduction. They are helpful for nitrogen fixation, right? They are found in the coralloid roots of cycas and they help in fixing the nitrogen. And next is the hormones. What are hormones, children? The nostoc, right, undergoes some special type of cell division and a new filament is formed. Such type of filaments we call them as hormones. So what are the vegetative cell called, children? Akinetes, right, and hormones. And sexual reproduction is absent in cyanobacteria. So some bacteria such as Microcystis aeruginosa and Anabaena flows aquae, they are responsible for causing the algal bloom. What happened to algal bloom, children? When you go to some other lakes, you can see the green color deposits over the water. That is due to the special type of cyanobacteria, and it leads to water pollution also. So with this, cyanobacteria comes to an end, children. So far we have discussed about the archaeobacteria and its types, cyanobacteria, and what are the salient features of cyanobacteria. Go through the topic well. With this we have attached the study material, question bank and assessment for this lesson. Go through it and try to answer the assessment to know how far you understood the topic. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.